away.
Good morning, fellow trudgers and stuff. It's still barely morning. There's 12 minutes left in the morning, so it's still morning. Good morning, leisure. But in 12 minutes, we're going to have to switch to good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Happy Sober Tuesday to you today. Woo. Yeah, life's good, isn't it? Isn't a sober life so much better than, man, I tell you now, I don't miss waking up shaking and sweating, wondering where I am, what I did the night before, having to check through my phone, see what the fuck I said this time, explaining to my wife and kids why I'm such a fucking asshole, man. I'm glad that's not part of my life anymore. So much better. Not that I don't have problems to deal with, but at least now I have the tools. It's the only thing I can do like Donald Duck. And it took me like 15 years to get that. And yes, my video yesterday did get cut. Thank you, Mr. Rogers and your neighborhood. It was worth it. It was worth it. They're like, well, you could pay if you want to give up 10% of your revenue for posting your. Okay, let me give them 10 cents of nothing. Here you go. Here's 10% of nothing. Oh, today we're going to do how it works right out of the big book. How it works is what we read in meetings. It's the number one reading that we have. It covers our basic text, right? Leisure says, I still have to explain why I'm an asshole. Well, then just make it apparent as to why you are. And then you won't have to explain it no more. Yeah, good fucking morning for 10 more minutes. Says, yeah, we said that when I got here. I said, good morning, but only for 12 more minutes. 12 more minutes. All right. So how it works is, especially when we have newcomers, we read how it works a lot. It's our, some meetings, it's all they read. Right. Which I understand there's a lot in how it works. I mean, there's a lot. All right. How it works is going to be one of those ones. It's going to be one of those chapters that as you go through it over and over again, you're going to learn more stuff. You're going to see. Now, the big book didn't change. You did. Right. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right. Welcome to the Daily Trudge, Dion. Everybody knows my name by now. Well, anybody that listens to this anyway. If you're here, please say hello. Whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Why am I getting dinged? Quantum Fire. Reminder, the facility relocation program. We're going to charge you extra because we're moving our stuff and, you're going to pay for it. It's 29 cents a month. It's what we call nickel and diming you. Yep. Well, they should put that money and put it towards customer service. Because I can't understand a fucking word they say. I'm sorry. I'm not being racist, but I can't understand them. If I can't understand them, it makes me wonder if they can understand me. Where did customer service go? Let's bring those jobs back too. Maybe. Yeah. Let's stop outsourcing those jobs and make it to, let's pay Americans a decent wage so that we can get some decent customer service. I tell you, Half the time it goes straight out the other way. So Amber says this could be the first video of you they see. Maybe they don't know that you're Dion. My name's literally on the screen. But maybe it's the podcast. That's why I said anybody that's listened to this before. See, I qualified it because I knew I was going to get shit for it. I already knew that. How did I know that I was going to get shit for it? Because I would give you shit for saying it. Yeah. I'm certainly not putting anybody down when it comes to customer service. It's just I'm the customer. And I'm not saying anything about, that has nothing to do with intelligence. It's just there's a communication barrier. And when it comes to communication barriers, Amber says maybe they're blind. Well, then they wouldn't have found me if they're blind. Okay, fine. Let's redo it for Amber's sake. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion, for those of you that do not know and who are blind. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. All right, let's get started. Now that everyone's appeased, we're just fucking around here. We're just having fun. All right, so how it works. Rarely. We're going to start with that word, that one word, right? Rarely.
Here's the definition of rarely: not often, seldom.
So we kind of knew that, huh? It's not often. So seldom have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. What path are we talking about? 12 steps. Your experience is going to be different. Your road's going to be different than mine. Your road's going to be different than other people. Sometimes we'll be walking along this road and we will meet each other. Maybe you take another path for a little bit, or I do, but we'll usually end up back on the same path as each other, right? Right. So the path that we're talking about is the 12 steps. Going to meetings, getting a sponsor, doing the same actions that we do. Now, like I said, you might get a different result. You're a different person with different perceptions, with different needs and different wants. We call it the broad highway. But I'm not big on the highway because that means it's paved and easy to walk. And it's not easy. No, this is not a path that is easy to walk. I suggest you bring your walking stick. Okay? And if not, find one on the road. Find people that you will walk hand in hand with along the as we trudge the road of happy destiny. Good morning, Claire. Claire says, who's sober? Claire Joyce is sober. So he's in good. Everyone's been in a pretty good mood this week. Maybe it's the full moon. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Whew, that's a tough line, ain't it? Who cannot or will not. Usually will not. I have not met very many cannots, but I have met them. Yeah, I've met cannots. They usually die. That's you. But there's usually something beyond. Something beyond, right? It means that they usually had a mental illness that was stopping them from being able to do this. Narcissism would be one of those. Bipolar, schizophrenia. Yes, these people can become alcoholic too. Alcohol doesn't give a fuck about nothing, right? Amber says the broad railroad through the Rocky Mountains. That sounds like more fun, doesn't it? Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, click, 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 click. Right. It just means they can't follow direction. Not always. That's a will not. A cannot is something different, I believe. Leisure said, why would you want a communication barrier in a customer service when communicating is the number one thing? Not only that, but quantum, your internet service is a communications company. Amber says they are stuck in self-will. Sometimes that is it. Yes. But I think there's a difference between that cannot and will not. Some people just, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say. Not even the grace of God can come down. That doesn't mean these are bad people. That isn't what that means. No. They're sick. Like I was, like I am. Yeah. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. That's the part Amber was just talking about, right? Not following direction, being caught in self-will. Denial is what we call it. And that is not, denial is not a river in Africa, right? It also runs through Egypt. It's another way of phrase that people use it, but people argue, right? I don't know. I'd have to look it up again. Either way, it's just a joke, right? But that's usually denial. Constitutionally incapable is just another, it's just a fancy way of saying denial. That's what that means, all right? So let's just double check. Definition of constitutionally incapable. Other I can tell. Means inherently, fundamentally unable to do something due to the disposition or lack of ability. Here it is. Constitutionally incapable of being honest with self would mean at the core being one is not able to see the truth about themselves. Denial. Denial. Shells says, I was trying to watch you on Facebook. It sucks. Yeah. YouTube's usually the better way. Usually what happens, somebody finds me on Facebook, they switch to YouTube. Facebook does not like me. They've never liked me. I'm making a change that they don't want to be changed because then they would lose ad dollars from all their recovery people. God forbid. Yeah, they're about money, not helping. They're such unfortunate. They're not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. That's what I believe. I can't remember a time that I wasn't hustling. I can't remember a time going back to my early years. Now that I know where I was lying, how I was being dishonest, I can't think of a time when I wasn't dishonest. I didn't know how to be honest, so it always came out as a lie. I was naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. I was unable to do that on my own will. I needed the help. I needed a guide of another person who had made it, who had done the steps themselves and had discovered the answer to his drink problem. That's what I needed. Amber says you can't make the video small and still do shit on your phone like you can with YouTube. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. If you have YouTube Premium, then I'll put it up. Yeah, I can even turn my phone off. It'll still go for YouTube, which is kind of annoying sometimes, but for the most part, it's a good convenience. All right. Their chances are less than average. Less than average of what? Of who? Of non-drinkers. Not of non-alcoholics. Yeah. Those are the chances that are less than average. Okay. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. We were talking about other mental illnesses here. Okay. And sometimes those can block us from getting to where we need to be, find that desperation that we need in order to start the program. Sorry, it's just it's been a very emotional week and I am drained. So Not all the way drained, but I'm tired, man. So, all right. But if that's my only problem today, I will go for it. So, but many of them do have do recover. They have the capacity to be honest. I have other mental illnesses. Here I am. Okay. I actually find that people that find that they have other mental illnesses and they go to therapy and work on them tend to be the people that help even more because we've experienced more and therefore we can help more. See, the more you've experienced in this life, the more you can help. That's been my experience. That's the way it's worked for me. At some of these, we balked. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 bark. Oh, no. Usually balking comes in anger, whining, moaning. I don't want to. We thought we could find an easier, softer way. But we could not. See, we all try for the easier, softer way first. We all try and quit on our own. We try and do it of our own willpower. We try and do it self-knowledge. But the unaided will never win in single-handed combat. See, that's part of the problem. When we do it alone, we're fighting it. We don't have the right information yet. We'll go read a self-help book and it doesn't work. And it doesn't work because you don't know how to help yourself yet. Self-help books are for people who know how to help themselves. That's the whole point of it. All right. Now you will get to a place eventually where you'll be able to do that. And then those self-help books those things will be gold again for you. Yeah. Then you can start applying that knowledge. There's nothing wrong with knowledge. It's just knowledge ain't going to get you sober. It's not going to do it. I know myself so well. No, I need a higher power to keep me sober. I need something bigger because once that's cleared out, now my willpower comes in for other things. Right. But when it comes to alcohol, I still don't have any. I don't have any willpower against alcohol. I get choices, but I don't have willpower over it. Nor am I willing to find out if I do have willpower over it now. I'm not willing to go that route. Right? So what are they saying here? Where they said, with all the earnest at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. What they're saying is, or at least what I hear them saying is, hey, millions of people came before you and tried it, and it didn't work. You're no different. That's what it's saying. That hundreds and thousands and millions of people before you who were just as smart as we were, okay? We are not any more intelligent a few thousand years later. Okay, evolution doesn't work that fast. It takes millions of years, hundreds of thousands of years for evolution to take place. Okay, and nothing happened. We're a little more far advanced technologically, but I'm going to tell you something. We ain't smarter when we got to put things like coffee is hot, do not eat Tide Pods. All right. And I'm not picking on the other generations. We Gen Xers did stupid shit too. Okay. Right. Eating cat food. Okay. Probably not, doesn't quite compare to Tide Pods, but when kids are told that there's a challenge, they don't think of that shit. I didn't think of that shit. They're not fully developed yet. They don't know. Right. So can we learn from the past? Can we learn from the experience of others? If we do not understand the history of Alcoholics Anonymous, like the traditions, we will repeat them, which will cost you more time we could have spent on helping another alcoholic. We need to get to a point where we can follow direction. And that usually starts with desperation. I know that's where it started for me. I'm sure every other person here would be like, yeah, when I came in, I was desperate to try anything now. And what a good place to be. What a good place to start. Yeah. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, and powerful. I'm going to throw patient in there. Alcohol's out in the parking lot doing push-ups, just waiting. Just waiting. See, alcohol doesn't understand time. Doesn't get time. It doesn't understand time. It's a liquid. But to us, but for us, I'm sorry, I was reading something Amber said, and now I don't know what I was going to say. So I'm just going to go with what she was saying here. She said, fuck wasting time. I'm worried about the people it would kill. Yeah. I saw it firsthand last night. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I've seen alcohol destroy. I've seen it too. I've also seen a lot of people get sober and die sober. I've also seen a lot of that. Right. Amber says, it's bad when a sponsor texts you at the beginning of the meeting saying, what the fuck is happening? Oh, yeah. I hear exactly what you're saying. That means they're drunk. That means that they're drunk. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. And I'm only, now, why would I be saying sorry? I'm sorry that she's going through that, number one. But what am I really sorry? I'm sorry that they don't see the program yet. That's what I'm sorry about. Because I know Amber is not taking it personally, but that doesn't mean it doesn't fucking hurt. Oh, you're talking about traditions. Okay. There you go. That's even worse. All right. I apologize for the assumption. All right. So without help, it is too much for us, but there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. May you find him now. Hallelujah. Woo. All right. So none of your sponsees drank. Okay. Well, I read that wrong. Nothing wrong with that. It's one of those things. It's one of those things where I'm glad I was wrong. I'm glad I was wrong because now I don't have to be sorry that they're going through that. Yeah, but I get it. Okay. Claire Joyce says, I'm lost. What are you, drunk? I'm just kidding because of what just happened. Don't be lost. We're going to get back to the book. I had to find a higher power in order to help me lose that obsession for drinking. All right. So half measures availed us nothing. We're dealing with a black and white situation. Okay, here it comes. Here it comes. You're either pregnant or you're not. Claire Joyce says, if you find me, please let me know to go home. Okay. Well, is your address written on the inside of your shirt or anything so it can help you get there? But half measures. Tamper says, we all wanted to drink after that meeting last night. It wasn't the grassroots meeting. I know that. Man, that must have been a rough one. Were they talking about traditions or something? It doesn't matter. If you want to send it to me in WhatsApp, go for it. I'd like to hear about it. Why would I like to hear about it? Because I'm going to tell you something. When I go to meetings and I see what's being done wrong, I'm not going to bitch about it. I'm just not going to repeat it. I mark it up to what not to do. So we can learn from other people's mistakes without having to, judge them. Yeah. But we still got to get those things off our chest. So half measures availed us nothing. That means it's all or nothing. You're either all in or you're not. You're either alcoholic or you're not. There's a lot of gray in AA, but this one is not. This is a black or white situation. All right. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. What is the turning point? What is that turning point? You guys have probably heard this blues expression about crossroads. It's what it is. It's a crossroads. And you're either going to make a deal with the devil or you're going to walk away. That's the turning point. You're either going to continue on or you're going to give everything to your higher power. That was it. That's it. Okay. We ask his protection and care with complete abandon. We know what complete abandon is. We drank. Did you drink on the fuckets? Right? Then you've done complete abandon. It means when you go to Subway, get a foot long, not a 6-inch. Yes, that would be a half measure. Yes. I'm not going to read the steps. I'm pretty sure everybody if you want to read them, go for it. All right. So after step 12, it continues on. Many of us exclaimed, "What an order! I can't go through with it." Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. That's just your brain trying to make you find the easier, softer way. That's all that is. It's just a poor excuse to not change. Michelle says, "Oh, you know about the deal with the devil at the crossroad?" I've been at those crossroads so many times in my life. You know who took me there? The hideous 4 horsemen. Okay. I got to speed this up a little bit. I apologize, but I do. What an order. I can't go through with it. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain things like perfect adherence to these principles. There's only one step you do perfect, and that's step 1. The rest of them are practiced. Yeah, they're practiced. Just like anything else in this world. Okay. We are not saints, and we're not. No, that's better. That's left for other people. I don't want to say better people, just other people. People are better at it than I. That works, right? Ever says the steps are in great order. We're not saints. The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. Just willing. The principles we have set down are guides to progress. What are those principles? Well, there's a principle behind every single step. All right. I'm not going to go through them right now because I got to speed this up. We claim spiritual progress rather than our spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, chapter to the agnostic, and our personal adventures before and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. Okay, we call these the ABCs. We're not even little Nicky. I know that that's an Adam Sandler movie, but that's the only reference I know to it. When you said Nikki, I thought of a Prince song called Darling Nikki, and that's probably much different. So the ABCs are steps 1, 2, and 3. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. And C, that God could and would if he were sought. Now, my sponsor had me write down that B was steps 3 through 12, but I don't agree with him. That's steps 1, 2, and 3, which is the how of the program. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.